The invitation arrived on my birthday, March 14th, 2025, 48 years old, and the irony wasn't lost on me. I sat at my kitchen table, the thick cream envelope staring back, its gold embossing glinting under the weak morning light. My fingers brushed the raised letters, sharp as little teeth. Henry and Evelyn Davis, 50th wedding anniversary celebration. How fitting. Another milestone for them, delivered right on time to eclipse mine. The house was silent, a hollow kind of quiet, broken only by the soft rumble of my cat, Shadow, purring on the windowsill. No cards, no calls, not even a text. Not from my parents, not from my brother Ethan, not from my sister Claire. Not even from Harper, my daughter, though I knew she'd be gutted once she remembered. I'm Charlotte Miller, and I've spent 3 decades watching my family throw parties for everything but me. Birthdays, promotions, anniversaries. Theirs always shimmered in the spotlight while mine flickered out like a candle nobody bothered to light. Today, my 48th, felt heavier than usual, the weight of all those forgotten years pressing down. I flipped the envelope over, tracing the wax seal. Evelyn's touch, always so precise, so perfect. Inside, the card was predictably lavish, requesting my presence, my words, my annual toast to their enduring love. 15 years running, I'd stood before their glittering guests, weaving tales of their devotion while choking on my own invisibility. The clock ticked past 10, still nothing. I pictured Evelyn bustling in her grand house, orchids in vases, Henry polishing his cufflinks, too busy to notice what day it was. Ethan probably at some meeting, Claire jetting around Seattle, all of them orbiting their own lives, and Harper, my fierce, distracted 21-year-old, buried in finals at college. I didn't blame her. Not really. She'd inherited their knack for forgetting, but hers came with apologies, not indifference. The front door slammed open, jarring me from my spiral. Harper burst in, her dark curls a wild halo, her backpack thudding to the floor. "Oh my God, Mom! I'm so sorry!" Her voice cracked, her arms wrapping around me before I could stand. She smelled of coffee and regret, her hair tickling my cheek. "I just remembered what day it is. Finals. I got so caught up." She pulled back, her green eyes searching mine, bright with guilt. "It's okay, honey," I said, though the words felt like ash. "You're here now." She didn't buy it. Never did. Her gaze landed on the envelope in my hands and her face darkened, a storm brewing behind those eyes. "Is that their anniversary invite?" She snatched it, reading fast. "They sent it today? On your birthday? Are they serious, Mom? Another speech?" Her voice rose, sharp as a blade, cutting through the quiet. I forced a smile, brittle as old paper. 28th year they've forgotten, but who's counting? My laugh didn't land, just hung there, awkward and thin. Harper's jaw tightened, her fingers crumpling the envelope's edge. The phone rang then, shrill and insistent, Evelyn's name flashing on the screen. Harper glared at it. "Don't answer." I didn't. It rang again, a second call in 5 minutes. Henry this time. Harper's hand found mine, warm and steady. "Let's get out of here," she said, her tone fierce, final. "They can wait." For once I didn't argue. My mind drifted as Harper rummaged for her keys, the envelope still a heavy ghost in my hand. Forgotten birthdays stacked up like unopened mail, 28 years of them, give or take. I saw myself at 16 in that blue dress I'd saved up for, sitting on the porch till midnight, waiting for someone to notice. Henry had glanced out once, tie loose from some dinner, but said nothing. Evelyn had been too busy with her garden club. Ethan and Claire, off in their teenage worlds, didn't even look up. Last year's memory stung sharper. Their 49th anniversary, another gala, another speech from me. I'd stood there, voice steady, praising their love while my birthday slipped by, unnoticed again. Lauren, Ethan's wife, had tried. She's the soft one, the peacemaker. "Let's sing happy birthday to Charlotte," she'd said during the toast, her smile hopeful. Evelyn shut it down fast, her voice like ice over crystal. "It'll detract from the celebration, dear." The room had laughed, a polite ripple, and I'd swallowed the lump in my throat, smiled like it didn't hurt. I remembered Ethan's wedding rehearsal dinner, too. Uninvited, because he'd assumed I'd be busy with my little stories. Claire's 40th in Seattle, a bash I'd helped fund. No mention of my 45th the week before. My first book deal, announced at Christmas. They'd clapped, then pivoted to Ethan's engagement news. "That's nice, dear," Evelyn had said, "but wait till you hear this." Always the afterthought, the shadow in their perfect frame. The phone buzzed again, Evelyn, relentless. Harper muttered, "Ignore her," and I did, letting it ring out. My chest ached, a dull, familiar bruise. 28 years of this, and I'd still show up, still speak, still pay half their party bills. Why? Because it's what family does? Or because I'd learned to fade so well they didn't even see me disappear? Harper's voice cut through. "Found the keys. Let's go." I looked at her, really looked, her fierce eyes, her clenched fists. She saw me, even if they didn't. Maybe that was enough to start with. The phone lit up again. Henry now, then a text from Ethan. "Mom's trying to reach you. Important anniversary stuff. Don't be difficult." Difficult. Rich, coming from the brother who'd forgotten me more times than I could count. I grabbed my coat. "Let's make it quick," I said, my voice cracking with something new. Anger, maybe, or hope. Later that night, after dinner with Harper, burgers and fries, her treat, I sat in my home office, the quiet pressing in again, the cat curled on the sill, a soft shadow against the dark. On my desk, a leather-bound photo album, Evelyn's signature move, dropped off while we were out. No note, just her passive-aggressive nudge. I flipped it open, the pages whispering under my fingers. 49 years of their celebrations, Evelyn in silk gowns, Henry in tailored suits, champagne flutes gleaming. Me. A blur in the background, holding a tray, fixing a spill, invisible even in their perfect shots. My laptop glowed beside it, my memoirs document open, The Art of Invisibility. Nearly finished, just waiting for an ending. I'd poured 48 years into it, every forgotten birthday, every "that's nice, dear," every time I'd smiled through their oversight. For 15 years, I'd given their anniversary speeches, crafting beautiful lies about their love while mine went unseen. My thumb brushed the album's edge, the weight of it sinking into me. 28 years forgotten, but who's counting? Me, always me, until now. The doorbell jolted me. Lauren stood there, her coat damp from drizzle, her face tight. "Evelyn sent me," she said, stepping in without asking. "She's worried you'll make things difficult for the anniversary." Her eyes flicked to the album, then my laptop. I turned the screen toward her, the title in bold, The Art of Invisibility, A Daughter's Guide to Being Forgotten. Her breath caught. "Charlotte, you can't." "Can't what?" My voice was steady, sharper than I meant. "Tell the truth?" "It'll destroy them." She shifted, uncomfortable. "This anniversary means everything to them." I opened the album to their 40th, me, pale with pneumonia, still giving the speech because Evelyn insisted. "Remember this?" I collapsed after. Ethan drove me to the ER. "You were brilliant," she said, weak. "And sick," I snapped. "They didn't care." Lauren reached for my hand. I pulled back. "Evelyn means well. She's just my mother," I finished. "And I'm just her daughter." I closed the album, my fingers trembling. "I'm done with the speeches, Lauren. I won't be there, not like they expect." "What are you going to say instead?" "Nothing." I smiled, thin and cold. "They'll figure it out." She grabbed her purse, flustered. "I have to tell her." "Go ahead," I said, softer now. "She'll forget this conversation anyway." The door clicked shut behind her, and I turned to my laptop. The cursor blinked, waiting. Something shifted then, a key turning in a rusted lock. Harper's voice echoed from dinner. "Celebrate you for once." She was right. Maybe I didn't have to do this anymore. I typed, slow at first, then faster. "It's time for a different story." My phone buzzed. Ethan again. "Meeting at 7. Don't make Mom wait." I ignored it, glancing at the album, then back to my screen. The ending crystallized, sharp and clear. After 48 years of fading, I'd write myself into focus. Let them see how it feels to be the ones left behind. The days after my birthday blurred into a quiet rebellion, my office a fortress of half-finished thoughts and cooling coffee. The photo album sat buried in a drawer, but its weight lingered, a silent taunt. I was mid-sentence on my memoir, The Art of Invisibility, when the front door rattled, heels clicking like gunfire on the hardwood. Claire stormed in, my younger sister at 45, her Seattle polish gleaming, designer coat, perfect hair, eyes narrowed with judgment. "Lauren says you're skipping the anniversary," she said, perching on my desk's edge, her voice tight. "Some exposé?" I didn't look up, just kept typing, every ignored milestone, every dismissal, spilling onto the screen. She leaned closer, spotting my laptop. "What's that?" I turned it toward her, the title stark against the white, The Art of Invisibility. Her composure cracked, a rare fissure. "You've submitted it?" I nodded, clicking open an email from my publisher. "Dear Ms. Miller, your powerful exploration of family neglect resonates deeply. Publication set for next month." Claire's lips thinned. "You're serious. This drops during their anniversary?" I smirked, a bitter edge creeping in. "Funny how I forgot their date, too." "This will ruin us," she snapped, standing now, pacing. Mother's beside herself. Seating charts, guest lists. "Tragic," I cut in, my voice dry. "All that effort, and no one to toast their perfection." "Don't be petty, Charlotte. It doesn't suit you." She picked up Harper's framed photo from my desk, her fingers tight around it. "It's just a memoir," I said, snatching it back. "Like the 3 I've published. About other people's families. This one's ours." The door swung open again. Harper, takeout bags in hand, her glare locking onto Claire. "Aunt Claire, nice timing." She dropped the bags, crossing her arms. "Discussing Mom's latest tantrum?" Claire set the photo down with exaggerated care. "Your mother's writing some literary vengeance. It's her best work yet, right?" Harper's eyes flashed. "Damn right it is. Publishers are buzzing." Claire's voice dropped cold. "And it'll humiliate us. Our family, Harper, your family." "The truth only humiliates people who deserve it," Harper shot back, stepping closer. I kept typing, the words flowing now. Christmas in Paris, them forgetting my ticket, my first book deal, overshadowed. Claire's face paled. "You're too sensitive, Charlotte. Always have been." "And you're too blind," Harper countered. "Both of you out of my house." Claire grabbed her bag, her parting shot low. "This is a mistake. A family-destroying mistake." The door slammed and Harper turned to me, fierce and steady. "You okay?" I nodded, my fingers still moving. The fight wasn't over. It was just beginning. A week before their 50th, Evelyn insisted on a small family dinner to smooth things over. I knew better, but there I was, seated at her polished dining table, pushing roasted potatoes around my plate. The chandelier gleamed overhead, casting shadows on the stiff faces around me. Evelyn at the head, Henry beside her, Ethan and Lauren across, Claire via video from Seattle. Harper sat next to me, her silence a coiled spring. Evelyn's smile was tight as she held the wine bottle over my glass. "More, Charlotte?" "You've barely touched it." I shook my head, but she poured anyway, the red spilling too high. "You look tired, dear. Writing can be so draining, can't it?" Ethan cleared his throat, breaking the brittle quiet. "Speaking of writing, how's the new book?" The table froze. Forks paused, breaths held. I met his gaze, steady. Finished. Final edits approved yesterday. Evelyn brightened, too bright, her voice a forced lilt. Wonderful! Advance copies for the anniversary, then? We could display them? Not appropriate, Claire cut in, her face sharp on the screen. Why not? Henry asked, glancing up from his plate for the first time. I couldn't help it. A laugh slipped out, sharp and bitter. Are they? When's the last time you read one, Dad? Silence crashed down, heavy as the crystal centerpiece. Lauren, ever the peacemaker, jumped in. I loved your last book, Charlotte. The Immigrant Family in Detroit. Thanks, I said, my tone flat. Did you like the mother who remembered her daughter's birthday? Evelyn's wine glass froze midair, her knuckles whitening. Really, Charlotte, must you... Must... I what? I leaned forward, voice low. Write about families who function. Sorry if that stings. Enough, Ethan snapped, his fork clattering. We're here for the anniversary, not your literary career. My career pays for half these parties, I reminded him, my pulse thudding. Or did you forget that too? Here we go, Claire sighed, her video flickering. The martyr act again. Harper slammed her hand on the table, the sound echoing. Stop it! All of you! You sit here, acting superior, taking from her. Speeches, money, her time. When's the last time you showed up for her? Evelyn straightened, her voice firm. We're her family, Harper. Everything we do is for family. I laughed again, the sound raw, surprising even me. Family? Last week was my birthday. Again. Where were you? Evelyn waved a hand, dismissive. Oh, darling, you know how busy anniversary season gets. I was in Seattle, Claire added, unapologetic. Meeting, Ethan mumbled. Henry just frowned. Was it last week? See? I pushed my plate away, standing slow. This is why I'm not giving the speech this year. Evelyn's face darkened. You most certainly are. It's tradition. Like, forgetting me is tradition? My hand shook, but my voice held. For God's sake, Ethan growled. It's just a birthday. Stop being dramatic. Dramatic? I stepped back. Calm now, deadly calm. Check your email. I sent you all advance copies an hour ago. Phones emerged, screens glowing as they read the synopsis. The Art of Invisibility, exploring the subtle cruelty of emotional neglect. Color drained from their cheeks. Evelyn's hand trembled, reading aloud. A daughter's journey surviving a family that perfected forgetting. You can't publish this, Ethan whispered. Already done, I said, smiling thinly. Release date's your anniversary. Funny how I remembered that. Claire hissed. This will ruin our reputation. What about her heart? Harper cut in, standing beside me. 30 years of you making her feel worthless. Evelyn rose, her chair scraping. I won't be painted as a monster in your little book. You painted that yourself, I said quietly. I'm just holding the mirror. I grabbed my purse. Come on, Harper, we're done here. As we walked out, Evelyn's voice followed, brittle. We'll need a new toast now. Some things never change, until they have to. The morning after the dinner, my kitchen smelled of Harper's coffee, a lifeline as I sat bleary-eyed at the counter. My phone buzzed, my publisher, Sarah, her voice crackling through the speaker. Charlotte, early reviews are incredible. Raw, unflinching. We're pushing the release up 2 days, maximize the buzz. Harper slid a mug toward me, grinning. 2 days before their anniversary? Exactly, Sarah confirmed. 3 morning shows want you already. I smiled, faint but real, until pounding shook the front door. Gabriella, open this right now. Evelyn's voice sliced through the wood. I'll call you back, I told Sarah, hanging up as Harper moved to answer. I stopped her. No, I've got this. Evelyn burst in, clutching her tablet, her usually flawless hair askew. Have you seen these preview reviews? She thrust it at me, her finger jabbing the screen. A searing indictment of privileged family dynamics, a mother's casual cruelty laid bare. Her eyes blazed. Do you have any idea what this will do to us? Make you see me? I kept my voice neutral, sipping my coffee. She laughed, a bitter bark. See you? All we've done is help you succeed. Who paid for college? Who got you publishers? Who forgot I existed unless they needed something? I set the mug down, the clink loud in the silence. Who made me feel I was never enough? She faltered, then rallied. You're ridiculous. She turned to Harper. Talk sense into her. Harper crossed her arms. I helped her write it. Evelyn sank onto my couch, pressing her temples. This isn't happening. The anniversary's in 2 weeks. The mayor, the governor's wife, everyone will be there. Perfect audience for a book launch, Harper muttered. My phone rang again, Ethan, on speaker, before I could stop her. Charlotte, morning shows want us all for a family reckoning story. Absolutely not, Evelyn snapped. Mother? Ethan sounded startled. You're there? Trying to save us from social ruin, she said, glaring at me. I took the phone back. No interviews, Ethan. The book speaks for itself. Speak to me then, Evelyn demanded, standing again. What do you want? Money? A bigger anniversary role? Your own party? I want you to understand what you did, all of you. My voice dropped, steady. Every forgotten birthday, every nice dear, what it cost me. What we did? She smoothed her skirt, a nervous tick. We gave you everything. Except love, Harper said, quiet but firm. Except kindness. Evelyn's phone chimed. She glanced at it, paling. Henry just heard from the country club. They want to postpone the reception over this family matter. Postpone? I couldn't help it. A smile tugged my lips. But it's tradition. You're enjoying this, she accused. You want to hurt us? No, I said, meeting her eyes. I want you to feel what I felt. Every year you made me celebrate you while ignoring me. She stared, then whispered, I see you now. That's not enough, I said softer. Not yet. She grabbed her purse, pausing at the door. I hope this book gives you whatever you're chasing, but don't expect us to welcome you back. Back where? I called after her. I was never really there. The door shut, and Harper hugged me fierce. You okay? I nodded. The mirror was up. Now they'd have to look. The night of their 50th arrived like a storm breaking, text messages piling up, voicemails unanswered. I sat in my study, the chaos buzzing through my phone, while Harper scrolled social media beside me. Your Good Morning America clips hit 1 million views, she said, grinning. Books trending. I barely heard her, my fingers tracing the edges of a wrapped package, a single copy of The Art of Invisibility, bound in black leather, gold lettering glinting, my anniversary gift. The doorbell rang and we exchanged a look. Here we go, Harper said. I stopped her as she moved to answer. Number my turn. Claire stood on my doorstep, mascara streaking, hair a mess, a stranger in her disarray. You have to come, she pleaded, breathless. The governor's wife canceled, news vans are circling, mother's crying. I've never seen her cry. I raised an eyebrow. That makes 2 of us. She grabbed my arm. Please, Charlotte, fix this. Fix what? I pulled free, holding up the package. The truth? It's cracking us apart, she said, voice breaking. Is that what you wanted? No, I replied steady. I wanted to wake us up. She stared at the gift, trembling. What's that? They're present, I said. Put it on the gift table. You're not coming? I'll be there, I said, cryptic. Just not when you expect. 2 hours later, Harper and I slipped into Evelyn and Henry's grand house through the side door, my old teenage escape route. The place thrummed with guests, string quartet lilting, but the air was thick with whispers. Cars lined the street, a news van lurking at the corner. "You're making waves," Harper murmured, nodding, to the gift table where my black package sat, stark against pastel wrapping. My phone buzzed. "Ethan. Mother's giving your speech. Last chance to fix this." I pocketed it, stepping into the staircase's shadow as Evelyn took her place at the room's front, champagne glass trembling. "For 50 years," she began, voice faltering, "our family has stood for love, loyalty, tradition." She saw me then, her words catching as I moved through the crowd. "Koratuai." Faces turned, parting silently, their curiosity a palpable hum. "Charlotte," she whispered, gripping her glass tighter. I reached the gift table, unwrapping the book slow and deliberate, the leather cool under my fingers. "You came," she said, softer. "Wouldn't miss it," I replied, loud enough for all to hear. "Isn't that what family does? Shows up?" The room went still, the quartet pausing mid-note. I opened the book to the dedication, my voice cutting through the hush. "To my mother, who taught me being invisible doesn't mean you don't exist. It means you have to shine brighter to be seen." I placed it in her shaking hands. "Happy anniversary, Mother. Hope you finally see what I've been showing you." A camera clicked, society photographer, no doubt, but the silence held, deafening. Henry stepped forward, his voice gruff. "We should take this private." "No," I said, firm. "Enough privacy, enough secrets." Ethan moved toward me. "Charlotte, don't what?" I turned to the crowd. "Don't tell them you forgot my graduation for Mother's garden party, or how Claire called my first publisher to say I was just playing at writing." "That's not fair," Claire protested, pushing through. "Fair?" I laughed, sharp. "You made me feel worthless to protect me?" Evelyn slammed the book shut, tears spilling. "Enough! This is our night, not your therapy." "It's both," Harper said, stepping up. "Your perfect image hurts everyone, Grandma, not just Mom." The governor's wife whispered to her husband, the camera clicking faster. Henry cleared his throat. "I read it last night," he said, and Evelyn's face drained. "She's right, Evelyn, about all of it. Her 16th, that blue dress, me doing nothing." "Henry, don't," she hissed, but I stepped closer, voice soft. "Writers demand to be seen. I had to write myself into existence." The mirror was up, and they couldn't look away. Days later, sunlight streamed into my office, warming the chaos on my desk. Fan letters, interview requests, speaking invites piling up since the release. My phone buzzed. Evelyn again. "Tea this afternoon?" Her messages had become a rhythm, small steps after the party's wreckage. I texted back. 3 p.m. works. Harper burst in, newspapers under her arm. "Still making headlines, Mom, good and bad." She spread them out, society pages scandalized, critics calling me brave. "Claire's interview dropped," she added, pointing to a magazine. I read aloud. "My sister's book forced me to face my role in our dysfunction." The doorbell chimed, and Henry appeared, tie askew, a small box in his hands. "Brought something," he said, setting it down. Inside, a silver bracelet gleamed, delicate, old. "For your 16th, he admitted, quiet. "Never gave it to you. Easier to pretend I forgot." My breath caught as I fastened it, the metal cool against my wrist. "Why now?" "Your book," he said, clearing his throat, "showed me what courage looks like." Harper squeezed my hand, her pride a silent pulse between us. My phone lit up. "Lauren. Book club picked your memoir. Join us? Ethan's coming too." Then Ethan. "Dinner with Lauren's family tonight, first time in years. Your book woke me up." I smiled, faint but real, until Evelyn arrived early, clutching a gift bag, her usual poise frayed. "Couldn't wait," she said, stepping in. She pulled out a leather-bound calendar, opening it to dates marked in her neat script. My birthdays, my book releases, moments she'd missed. Rewriting history, she said, quick, nervous. It doesn't fix it, but maybe it builds something better, where we see each other. Henry picked up a newspaper, reading aloud. In exposing her family's flaws, Miller creates a mirror for our blind spots. Harper grinned. Grandma, my friend's mom started therapy after your book. Evelyn's lips twitched. The governor's wife said the same at her garden party. We've sparked a revolution. What about the country club reception? I asked, curious. Cancelled, she replied, firm. Some traditions aren't worth keeping. She pointed to today's date. Thought we'd start a new one. Family tea, Wednesdays if you'll have us. I looked around, Henry fidgeting, Harper beaming, Evelyn clutching her calendar like a lifeline. My phone buzzed again. Claire, London book tour next month. Stay with me, 30 years to catch up. The invisible woman's impossible to ignore now, Harper said, laughing. I nodded, the bracelet glinting as I moved. For 48 years, I'd been their ghost, fading into their frames. Now, I was the picture. Seen not because they changed, but because I'd demanded it. The mirror had worked, and they were starting to look. Wednesday afternoon settled soft in my kitchen, the clink of teacups a new melody as Evelyn arranged scones with nervous precision. Henry shifted in his chair, tie still crooked, while Harper teased him about spilling sugar. My phone kept buzzing, Claire, Ethan, Lauren, all reaching out, threads of this messy, evolving family weaving back to me. I caught my reflection in the window, solid, no longer dissolving into their shadows. For once, I felt real, anchored in this moment. Evelyn poured tea, her hands steadier now, and slid a wrapped box toward me. Your birthday present, she said, voice low. Late, I know. Inside were my childhood drawings, dated and preserved, proof she'd seen me, even if she hadn't shown it. I traced a crayon flower, my throat tight. You kept these? Always, she said, eyes red from the night she'd spent reading my book after the party. Just didn't know how to give them back then. Harper leaned over, smirking. Grandma's rewriting more than calendars now. Evelyn smiled, faint but genuine. It's a start. Henry sipped his tea, then spoke soft. Our daughter did something extraordinary, Evelyn. She nodded, meeting my gaze. Yes, she did. The words hung there, simple, heavy, years late, but here. My phone flashed. Sarah, my publisher. Good Morning America wants you again. I set it aside, turning to Harper. Help me with a dedication page later? She grinned. To the family that taught you to be seen by showing you invisibility? Perfect, I said, and started pouring more tea. The bracelet caught the light, a quiet reminder of Henry's regret, while Evelyn's calendar sat open. Today, marked Family Tea. Claire's text popped up. London's waiting, bring Harper too. Ethan's followed. Vanessa's kids asked about you at dinner. Lauren's chimed in. Book clubs tomorrow, don't ditch us. I looked at them. Evelyn fussing, Henry sipping, Harper laughing, and felt the shift. For 48 years, I'd written myself into their story, a footnote in their perfect script. Now, they were writing me into theirs, tentative and imperfect. The kitchen hummed with their voices, and I saw myself in the window again, not fading, not forgotten, but illuminated. Seen, finally fully, for exactly who I am. And that, more than any headline or book deal, was the triumph I'd been chasing all along.